Company on Australia's sports leader Fox Sports, and a very warm welcome to Leichhardt Oval today. It's round 24 New South Wales Cup action. The combatants, the Wentworthville Magpies, tackling the Balmain Right Eastwood Tigers. Conditions here are fairly cool at Leichhardt, and there is a strong southerly breeze blowing down the ground that's worth, well, at least a try. The competition ladder, well, that does demonstrate the importance of today's game, and in many ways is a grand final. For Balmain Ride, they can ill afford to lose today. Wentworthville are not exactly breathing easily either. The Tigers did have the benefits of the bye last weekend, whilst the Magpies went down to the Auckland Vulcans 28 points to 20. Let's now take a look at the sides. Balmain Ride firstly, Mulaney, Eshman, Meany, Clark, Hitatuku, Nadira, Waters, Pern, Corby, Vunakis, Moores, Shernack and Highland. It's a good side. There's plenty of potency on the bench, and they're coached by Paul Fletcher. Now the visitors, Wentworthville, Humble, CO, Savage, Gilbert, Rawalui, Mortimer at 5'8", Waters, Pelletalisi, Hunt, Manukaufoa, Paul O'Ryan and Howard, and they are coached by Brett Cook. Earlier, Drury caught up with the two skippers.
We're here with Balmain Right Eastwood skipper Sean Meany. And Sean, how critical is a win today, considering your position on the ladder?
Yeah, it's pretty crucial. We win today. We sort of got that leg in the door for the semis. Once we get to the semis, we'll be fine. We've had a pretty slow season this year, so we get a win today, and it's a big step towards our semi-final campaign.
Speaking of wins, your last win was quite some time ago against Western Suburbs here. What's been going on behind the scenes? You've had the bye, you've had an extra week off. What's been spoken about?
Last week we sort of just got away from footy a little bit. Just had a break. We only had one training session last week, so we all got away from that. We're still pretty confident. Even though our last win has been a while, we've still put some pretty good games together. They haven't all been 80-minute games, but there've been a couple of close ones in there.
Wentworthville skipper Daniel Mortimer. Daniel, how crucial is today's game? It's 6 versus 8. It's almost a 4-point game, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, mate. And there's a few teams around, the 5th, 6th, 7th mark. And mate, it's a big game for us today if we want to really secure our spot in the finals.
There has been some encouraging recent results for Wenty. A draw against Newtown, top 4 side, and you pushed Auckland last week. How do you feel the side's going at the moment, a few weeks out from the finals?
Mate, I think we're building to something nicely. If we can continue to build for the next 3 weeks and play some good footy, I think we'll be a pretty good chance in the finals. It's been a long season. I just think we're starting to hit our peak at the right time.
I noticed you're now working with Brendan Waters in the halves. How's that going? Yeah,
it's good. Yeah, he's got a good little kicking and passing game on him. So, mate, we'll continue to work together, and hopefully we can get a bit of a combination going for the finals.
Sean Meany and Daniel Mortimer catching up with Drury ahead of kick-off today. Here come the Wentworthville Magpies, exiting the tunnel at this very famous venue, Leichhardt Oval. Peter Mulholland, good to be back with you.
Yes, good afternoon, David. Isn't it great to be back at Leichhardt? And as you said, a very, very important game this afternoon for the Balmain side. Cannot afford to lose this match this afternoon. Looking forward to the clashes too in the halves. I think Brendan Waters, Daniel Mortimer up against Nathan Waters and George Nadira. I think that'll go a long way towards deciding the outcome of this match.
It'll be a great battle. Nathan Waters v Brendan Waters. I concur with you. Can I say from the outset a very, very big congratulations to Drury Forbes. He called last week's game for me. I was crook in the aftermath of hernia surgery. And Drury, fantastic job, mate. Well done in your debut, and it won't be the last time we hear from you calling the action here. So the sides now preparing for battle. The referee this afternoon, Matt Noyen, and the Tigers will defend the northern end of Leichhardt Oval in this first stanza. And this is big Andrew Pern taking the first hit up. He's driven backwards and stopped a couple of metres out from his own line. Now Corby puts Moores down the short side, and Moores intelligently steps back towards the centre slightly and avoided being bundled into touch. Now the skipper, Sean Meany, is the next man to go forward, tackled by Manukaufoa. Now from Corby to Iloni Vunakis. Not very often we see Vunakis actually start the match, Pete. He's more of a bench specialist and does provide plenty of thrust.
Yeah, he gives a lot of impact off the bench for the Balmain side, but I think he's deserving of this start. He's been playing very consistently for the season and offers a lot of positive vibes, I guess, for that Balmain side. Interesting also to see after that long kick and a good chase on the end from Balmain, Matty Ryan up against his old club this afternoon. I've just been at lunch with the Western Suburbs Magpies reunion, and Trevor Ryan was there and came out with us this afternoon to get to this match.
And you're still speaking fluent English despite the fact you've been lunching. I am impressed.
I took Terry Lamb, and I don't know what Terry Lamb's going to be like tonight, but I certainly think he was in good spirit when I left.
He'll appreciate you giving him up like that. Here's Pelletolisi, mid-time tackle for Wentworthville, but got up and went again and found Humble on the fly in support. Now back to Pelletolisi, and that's good inroads by Wentworthville. Early in this game, no score after 90 seconds of play. They go through the hands now, an inside ball for Danny Howard. And Howard is tackled by a couple of Tigers, including Matt Highland. Iloni Vunakis the other. Now from Matt Hunt, away to the 5/8. Daniel Mortimer kicks through and chases. And there are a couple of other Magpies there in pursuit too, but for the Balmain side, it was Keith Eshman saving the day, Pete. Good pressure from Wentworthville early here.
Good pressure from Wenty. That was a great save by Eshman too. Read it very, very well. The bounce didn't favour Mortimer's kick, but a good chase on the end of it.
And at this juncture, we may go downstairs, I'd suggest, and hear from the man that called the action last week and did a great job, Drury Forbes. G'day.
Yeah, good afternoon, David, and great to have you back on board. As we see a penalty, first penalty of the match to the Tigers there. Conditions, it's extremely cold here at Leichhardt Oval, and as you mentioned, David, there is that breeze favouring Wentworthville going from right to left. Now, for the Tigers, Flanagan is a late omission. I'm led to believe he'll be playing for the West Tigers tomorrow. Andrew Fafita is also out for Wentworthville. Aaron Fluke and Mitch Stanfield missing from today's match. Crucial match for the Tigers. They've had the bye. They've had 2 weeks to prepare. They still need to win one of their last 3 to guarantee a final spot. Should be a ripper of a match.
Yeah, looking forward to this one, all right. Here's Jake Clark tackled. He'll play it back to Corby. Fires the pass to Vunakis, and now out with Nadira and the back rower Junior Moores. That's good ball movement from Balmain right eastward. Daniel Mortimer in their tackling. There were 2 others lending him a hand too. So for the first time in this game, the Magpies find themselves, I was about to say under pressure, but unfortunately for the Tigers, ball into Tuck's western side. There will be a scrum pack here, and the Magpies will get the benefit of the loosened feed.
Yeah, not quite sure what George Nadira was thinking there with that pass. Everybody very, very flat. No options for him, either out the back or as a second man. So, ball into touch. Took the pressure right off the Wentworthville Magpies.
Of course, the 6th jumper at Balmain right eastward this year, well, it's been musical chairs to some extent, Pete. We saw Sean Meaney start there, and he's really a specialist fullback. Today playing in the centres, we've seen Nadira slot in there, and of course Reece Jack also played a number of games there, and he finds himself on the bench again today. It's
a real hard position, 5'8". I don't think there are many classic 5'8s left in the game, to be honest with you. You've got, I think Todd Carney's a classic 5'8". Darren Lockyer. But by the clubs are finding it hard to produce them at the moment. I think Parramatta, obviously in the first grade, are struggling very, very much with that position.
Yeah, we went through a stage in the game. There was an era of the likes of Lamb and Daly and Fittler. It was seemingly they were growing on trees, but not so much now. Matt Hunt, long pass away to the 6, Daniel Mortimer, for the clearing kick downtown. And after one bounce, coming back with the football here is Keith Eshman. Got to say, this player's impressed me this season. The times we've seen him play, he's equally at home in the centres as he is on the flank. Now from Mullaney to the headgear of Charlie Hiratuku. And Hiratuku advancing the ball about 10 metres. Now it is Jake Mullaney trying to explode downfield with the pace that we know he possesses. Good tackle by Joseph Paulo. Now we see Jason Chernak being told to play it. They go down the short side with Jake Clark. Tackled about 5 metres in from the eastern touchline. Waters at acting half. At first receiver is Chris Corby. He drills that kick. And picked up by Wentworthville's Henry Rawalui. And Rawalui was tackled quickly by the converging Balmain right eastward defence. Now Gilbert playing it. Gilbert back after some time on the sidelines with injury. Something of a prolific try scorer too as Dylan in the 4 for the Magpies. Manu Kufawa in front of the line. He passed to the lock forward Danny Howard. Always a willing worker. Plays it back to Hunt. Now to Brendan Waters. He decides to take the line on for the first time. A bear-hugging tackle by Iloni Vunakis put him on the ground. Humble. Grubbing kick may prove a little difficult for Balmain right eastward. Plenty of chases there, but Mullaney got it. And he's tackled a couple of metres in from the eastern touchline.
That was an unusual kick from Tom Humble too. I just didn't think it had enough power in it, but just kept rolling and bouncing, and great chase on the end of it.
Oh, there's a mistake by Jason Chernak. You don't see him make too many. So after 6 minutes of play, this is going to provide a great chance for Wentworthville.
It wasn't the best pass there for Chernak either, right over his shoulder.
So here come the Magpies, 15 metres out. This is Troy Savage playing right centre for the visitors. Bunakees breaking from the scrum to make the tackle. Now Ryan thought about the pass. Pelletolisi was standing there, but the redhead was crunched by a couple of defenders. Chernak leading the way. Fantastic chance here for the visitors. Now we see them through Daniel Mortimer stepping. He takes them on and was wrapped up, trying to get a quick play the ball in. A little bit of indecision on acting half. This might be a try. Reaching out. And the referee, Noyen, says he was short on tackle 4. And because he was short, he plays it just in front of the line. Open side goes Wentworthville. The halfback is Brendan Waters. Inside. Player running on an angle on the 5th and last tackle. We see Paulo playing the ball now from Hunt. Will he have a go himself? He kicks it. And it was scooped up by his opposite number, Chris Corby. Let's take another look at that replay of the almost try.
I'll tell you what, from that first angle, I reckon it's a try. I honestly think that's a try. And it was just at the end there where the ball rolled back after it was planted on the line. Hard call there against Tommy Humble. I thought it was a very, very interesting decision.
I agree with you. Looking at that, it looked like it was on the line, didn't it? Gee. Mullaney tackled for the Tigers. Waters pass away. And this is 14 Matt Highland. So a real arm wrestle here during the early stages of this round 24 game. An absolute must-win for Balmain right eastward. As we watch that kick go downtown and fielded by Henry Rawalui. Let's go down to Drury on the sideline.
Yeah, great effort from Tom Humble there. Just on Tom Humble, he has been in sparkling form of late since joining this Magpie side during the season. And the way the Eels are going at the moment, if they're not playing Jared Hayne at fullback, I don't know why they're not considering Tom Humble. He has been in amazing form, and I think he certainly wouldn't be out of place in the number 1 jersey for Parramatta.
He's had a good season. I concur with that. Is Pelletolisi running out wide and some indecision there. 3 Tigers defenders stopped. And obviously of the belief that he ran around behind the back of as one of his players. You've got to play to the whistle. Here's Humble. Out to Brendan Waters. He found support too over there, which was Savage. And once again, Wentworthville. Ideal attacking opportunity. Kick in the air by Humble and flying high above them there. Sean Meaney almost dropped it but gathered it in again. A little fortuitous for the Tigers, but they'll take it. Hiratuku. Driven back by Daniel Mortimer. Mortimer has probably spent the last 3 months in this Wentworthville side. He was in some pretty illustrious company at one stage with the likes of Rennie Matua and also Carl Webb, spending some time in the New South Wales Cup. Now Junior Moores. Across the top, Matt Ryan. Now from Corby to Nadira at first receiver. And that is well out. That's a shocker off the side of the boot.
Just right off the side of the boot there. There's 2 mistakes that are uncharacteristic from George Nadira. Just the way the ball went onto the foot.
Had plenty of time too. He wasn't harassed.
A lot of time. He was still a fair distance in field. I probably just wanted too much of an angle there to get away from the fullback. Paid the price dearly.
Well, Paul Fletcher clearly playing him there because he feels he's got no options for whatever reason. Nadira is a specialist 9. We all know that. Matt Hunt. They go right through Brendan Waters to the line, a dummy, then decided to offload to Savage, who hit the ball strongly. Now Humble, he will get across in the corner, and that's the opening try of the day. 4 points to 0 to Wentworthville. With the kick to come, he was always the one most likely.
He was, but geez, it was good work there by Troy Savage too. Just have a look, there's a lot of work to do off Waters. Takes it one-on-one there, straight through the tackle of Jake Clark, which is unusual too. Jake Clark, very, very reliable in defence. Did very, very well there in support Tom Humble, but that's Troy Savage's try. Well done to him. He is I think he's a leading try scorer too, is he not, for Wenty? And slips one there as a try assist.
Savage, who set up that try for Humble, is the club's leading try scorer. He has 11 four-pointers to his credit this season. Here's an attempted conversion from wide out, and it is a beauty. From the eastern touchline, Humble gets the flags in the air. Magpies 6, Tigers no score. Almost 13 minutes of play gone. And we might go down to the sideline. That is, if Drury hasn't been blown away yet with that strong southerly breeze.
Well, David, I'm blown away at this Tigers outfit in the first 12 minutes or so. Early on, already, I'm quite worried about what the Tigers are going to put in today. We've already seen a kick out in the full by Nadira. We've seen a pass go out of bounds when they were attacking the Wentworthville line. Oh, here's Mortimer, Tappy. He's away.
Yeah, lovely piece of play there by Wentworthville. It went through 4 pairs of hands. Both front rowers handling, and here's Manu Kafara again charging onto it. That's a big run by the Tongan, and Manu Kafara eventually put on the ground, and just as well for the Tigers he was. That was ominous. Now here we see Daniel Mortimer to the line, to Humble. Great ball to Dylan Gilbert, and Gilbert will score. Magpies have done it again. You've got to agree with Drury. It's going pear-shaped for the Tigers even at this early stage. 10-0 kick to come.
Yeah, that's great work. Once again on the edge too. You see the pass there from Mortimer after some good interchange from the forwards. Tommy Humble, selective pass. I'm just not sure what Sean Meaney was thinking or what Sean Meaney was doing there, but left Dylan Gilbert with a hole as wide as Sydney Heads to go through. You can't leave him with a break either because he will score against you.
And score he did. And it's a caper. He's very good at try scoring. I did allude to that earlier in the call. The conversion has hit the upright left-hand side of the post. So Humble 1 from 2 today. It's 10-0 after 15 minutes, Drury.
As I was saying earlier, Tappy, I'm worried. I'm deeply worried about this Tigers outfit. They've had an extra week to prepare, having the bye, as we said earlier. They haven't won in over a month, and that was against Western Suburbs. And they're really playing for some confidence heading into the finals if they make it. And I don't like what I'm seeing early, just the body language. I think Wentworthville, warming up, looked a bit sharper than the Tigers, and they need to do something and do something fast.
Pelletolisi, tackled by Pern. So the Magpies full of running. Certainly got their tails up. Danny Howard is tackled. Matt Hunt goes down the short side and pops the ball there to Troy Savage. He's been strong over there. Did wonderfully well to put Tom Humble over in the corner. Some real Matt Gidley style play. Here's another break for them. Mortimer, he's having a field day. Inside ball to Tom Humble. He's still going, Humble. He got away from Heratuku. He looked over his shoulder. There's support coming. He kicks it. Oh! Almost a try there to Rawa Louis. Desperately unlucky not to be try number 3, and it was a 60-metre effort.
Junior Moores then put pressure on himself and his defence by coming out of the line at Mortimer. Mortimer showed great footwork and evasion to get away from Junior Moores on that. Tom Humble supporting up the middle as he does with Mortimer. Great combinations there. Great selection of kick too there, straight across the field, and that was dead set a try. That was a try for all money. Good football from Wentworthville, bad luck at the end.
Could very well have been 14-0 after 16 and a half minutes. Chernak down that left-hand edge, tackled by Joseph Paulo and the halfback Brendan Waters. Now Nathan Waters to George Nadira, and Moore's dummies before electing to take them on. He's lost that. Lost it cold, trying to push the pass, and he'll rue that, as will his coach. They can ill afford to give the football back to Wentworthville.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure what Junior Moores was trying to do there. May have used it as a bumper bar on the Dylan Gilbert tackle, but certainly lost control of it. I thought he looked like he was trying to offload that football in the tackle.
If you've just joined us at Leichhardt Oval, round 24 of the New South Wales Cup, a very strong breeze blowing at the back of Wentworthville, right to left. And it's certainly advantageous to be defending the southern end, at least at this stage of the game, given the strength of that win. Pelletolisi upended by Corby. Good defence by the headgearing wearing hooker for the Tigers, Manu Kafawa. He's had a good start to the game. Both front rows have done wonderfully well for Wentworthville. He'll play it back to Matt Hunt. They've certainly got them going forward. Waters to Pelletolisi. We're seeing Pelletolisi a couple of passes off the ruck today. It's working well for Wentworthville too. This is Daniel Mortimer. High rate of involvement in this game, and he's made some breaks too. A kick down towards the northwestern corner. Fielding it for the Tigers is Jake Mullaney. Mullaney makes a meal of it. Gee, that might be a try to Matt Ryan.
Yeah, that's a good call too. I think if we get a chance to look at the replay as we do here, great kick once again from Tom Humble. Good chase, Matty Ryan. You can see here when he goes to strip the ball from Jake Mullaney, he does strip it and it does go forward. I don't think that is a bad call at all. Just watch it there now.
Yeah.
Yep. Ball's gone forward. Good call from the touch judge.
Yeah, just needed to catch that, Matt Ryan, before it hit the deck. But how about Tommy Humble's short kicking game?
Just got that little ball that just has a bounce in it, hasn't it? Just stubs it into the ground and gets a decent high bounce on 2 or 3 bounces in the kick.
Matt Highland, of course, Jake Mullaney, who was attempting to field that for Balmain Road Eastwood. Their top try scorer this season with 13 beside his name. 1 in advance of Sean Meaney, who's come up with a dozen. Second phase from the Tigers, really for the first time today. Bit of razzle-dazzle here. Highland, and he got the pass away to Vunakis. Ryan and Mortimer combined to put him on the ground.
That's a great tackle then from Mortimer. Just put the big Vunakis on his backside. You see Junior Moore's doing something there now that he can do very, very well, is get on an edge and create havoc.
That was a great run and a fantastic offload. Now the Tigers drift back towards the other side of the field. Waters the run around there with Chernak. Was that called a knock on? He was playing the advantage before calling the knock on. Magpies couldn't get their hands on it. They will now, though, with the loosened feed, the ensuing scrum.
Yeah, idea was great. A little bit of second phase there, but he was just watching where he was going, Nathan Waters, and didn't take that ball into his hands. Unfortunate there for the Balmain side. They're starting to build up a little bit after a great break from Junior Moores.
Pete, it's an aspect of the game. I can never believe we don't see more simple runaround plays. It always creates the extra man. In the 70s, it was a play you'd see in almost every set of 6.
We saw flares and platform shoes then too.
Mate, I know, but you know what I'm saying. You know, a guy like Johnny Peard used to do it regularly.
And if it's constructed well, Warren Ryan was great with him. It was constructed properly.
Just a great, simple play.
Constructed properly, they create havoc, actually.
And 40-20s. We don't see as many attempts at that aspect of the game that you'd think you would. Anyway, back to the play. Matthew Kafawa, now Mortimer. Gee, isn't he stepping up to the plate, Mortimer, today?
That's another great tackle from Chris Corby too. He's been dangerous in defence.
Brendan Waters puts a high kick in the air. It comes down to Jake Mullaney. Didn't have to move off that blade of grass. Straight to him. Not a huge amount of pressure. He was tackled by Waters. Now this is Keith Eshman. In off the left wing, going for a run. Matt Hunt made the tackle. And it was a good one too. Paulo helping him out. Now in 15, it's Junior Rokika into the action at the 21st minute mark. And driven back by 3 Magpies. Manu Kafawa and also Nathan Armour out there now in 15 for Wentworthville. This is Chernak turning his back to the defence. Made himself easy pickings, really. 3 of them drop him on the turf. Corby. Nadira, 5 metres on his own side of halfway. Shoots for touch on the eastern side. That's better. Had a bit of hang time to that kick.
It's hanging into the breeze, I think. It was just being held up by the breeze and outside the 40. You can see the breeze just pushing that ball back now, and Tommy Humble just lets it run into touch.
Yeah, both he and Ken Seo, the right winger for the Magpies, content to let it dribble over the touchline.
There's a little bit of the smell of semi-finals about the Wentworthville side today too. Unfortunately, you see a knock on there from Troy Savage. Just another handling error. You just quite see that on the replay here. I think he's fumbled it in the tackle. The referee's got a better view of that than anybody and pulled it up as a fumble in that tackle. As I was saying, I think there's a little bit of a sniff of the semi-finals from Wentworthville's form at the moment.
Well, certainly the way the front rowers and Daniel Mortimer are going, I'd concur with you. Here's a half chance for Nathan Waters, who kicked. The kick was a shocker, and he'll be disappointed with that.
You can have a look at this after. The great kick too, and once again, Troy Savage came out of the line there, giving Waters the break, but or the hole that he ran into. Just couldn't capitalise on it. He was cranky with himself. You can see him give himself 20 uppercuts there.
Understatement of the year from Peter Mulholland. And Pete, you're off to the Newcastle Knights, working with Wayne Bennett. We can make that public now. Congratulations on that appointment. Fantastic.
Yeah, thanks, Tappy. It's a great opportunity. It wasn't an easy decision to leave the Dogs. As you know, I've laboured over it for probably 2 months now, and the board at the Dogs. I've had a contract there, have been great, and have allowed me to pursue an opportunity that it is to work with a master coach and to go to what is an exciting new venture with the Hunter Sports Group.
Yep, new era. It'd be fun to be a part of it. Manu Kafal, wish you well in your new role up there, looking after recruitment, development, and many other things, I'm sure.
Yeah, thanks, Tappy.
No problem. Now this is Charlie Hitatuku getting back to pick up the Steeden in his own in-goal area, and will now bring the football out to be tackled about 10 out from his own line. The New South Wales Cup journeyman, Charlie Hitatuku, slotting into acting half, Jake Mullaney. Down to Drury on the sideline as we watch Eshman making a pretty good run.
Yeah, I just wanted to congratulate you as well, Peter, on your new role in Newcastle. And looking on here at Leichhardt Oval, is there anything you like here that perhaps you'd like to take to Newcastle?
I like Tommy Humble. Actually, the two big boppers are gone all right too from the front rowers there at Wenty, but mate, I just want to have a good look at what Newcastle have got, and I know eventually we'll be meeting up with Wayne and Keith Onslow and just going through the depth up there. I mean, up there, it's just an unlimited talent, isn't it, really, the junior league and so forth at Newcastle.
All right, so we see there Waters with the ball going behind him. It's been called a knock on. He's had an unhappy 5 or 10 minutes, Waters.
I was going to say that, Dave. Look, I thought he was the premier halfback last season in the New South Wales Cup. I thought he started the year very, very well. I just don't know what's gone wrong with Nathan Waters' form this season. I'm sure he's a professional player. He's a great young bloke. I think he'd be dirty on himself the way he's playing at the moment, and sometimes perhaps trying too hard.
Great run by Ken Seo out of acting half, waiting to come on there. Benson Tupou for Wentworthville. Of course, this side a joint venture with the Parramatta Eels, and it's been a fairly fruitful association thus far too. Mighty club, the Wentworthville Magpies. Joseph Paulo is the next man tackled. Jason Chernak, it was around the rib cage. Waters to Mortimer. A dummy and then a pass to Tom Humble chiming in. A short ball to Dylan Gilbert, who picked up the second try of the match for Wentworthville. And we see again here the Tigers absolutely on the rack. Wentworthville 5 metres out and on the attack. 26 and a half minutes gone. Grubbing kick that is fielded by Jake Mullaney. They drive him back into his own in-goal area. Well, this is a Wentworthville side that means business today.
You always look at enthusiasm in a game by the line speed and defence and the end of the kick chase. Just watch the players coming through on this kick chase. 5 players in the frame there, and this defence at the end of it just shows that enthusiasm. Straight away, Jake Mullaney there. 2 of his own players couldn't help him. Great defence from the Wentworthville Magpies. Again, the enthusiasm's contagious amongst those players.
Sean Meaney, the drop out from beneath the black dot. Bouncing a few times, went about 45 metres. Humble offloading to Nathan Armott. And Armott runs straight into Junior Rokika. Rokika aided there by Jason Chernak. Matt Hunt away to Benson Tupou. His first touch of this contest. We're off to Henson Park next weekend. We'll bring you up to date on all of that at the back end of today's program. Also show you some highlights from the Bundy Red Cup final series. A knock on, meantime, by Wentworthville. That's not exactly according to the script. Here's Waters, Brendan that is, stepping, stopping, stepping, trying to get a pass away, and in so doing, coughing up possession. That was really unnecessary.
Yeah, I think Brett Cook will be saying something about that one at half-time. Just got to cool it. They're up 10-0. They had pressure on the Balmain side. Just needed to play that set of 6 out.
Sideline, Drury.
Yeah, Benson Tupou is on the field now for Manish Manakafoa, and there's a couple of Tigers warming up on the sideline, including Vunakis. Look, I know it's been a bad start for the Tigers, but they are running into the breeze. If they can just hang in there and get to the sheds, I'm sure half-time can't come quick enough for Paul Fletcher. They do have a wind advantage in the second half. It's probably worth around 10 points, so an important 10 minutes coming up for the Tigers.
You're not wrong. Given the way the game's been played, there's no doubt they could be trailing by a lot worse than 10. And 10 certainly doesn't denote unassailable. But I agree, they certainly can ill afford to allow the Magpies in again this half. Kick down, fielded by Tom Humble, who's been excellent. There's Corby rushing up in his face, couldn't make it stick. And subsequently, Humble got the pass away to Ken Seo. Wrestled to the ground by a very frustrated Nathan Waters today. You can dead set read Nathan's body language. He's less than impressed with the world at the 29th and a half minute mark of this round 24 game. Wentworthville have been playing with a real sense of urgency. Here's Joseph Paulo away to Matt Ryan, advances the Steeden beyond the halfway line. Tackled by Junior Moores. Moores has been the Tigers' best, I feel. Away to the lock forward now, Danny Howard. You were going to say something, Pete?
Yeah, I'd just like to see him a little bit more involved, Dave. When he runs, when he decides to go, he's that dangerous, it's not funny, but Junior just needs to keep getting in the game, and Balmain do need him.
Here's Jake Mullaney accepting the ball and will be put on the ground, 5 out from his own line. Keith Eshman looking for a quick play, the ball at acting half. Once again, doing his job and getting over the advantage line, Eshman. The tackler was Benson Tupou. Hiratuku, now it's his turn. A 5-metre burst upfield, Ryan and Tupou, the tacklers. Junior Rokika. They certainly lose nothing bringing him into the action. He's a massive human being. Jake Mullaney. Another 7 or 8 metres by him. Wrapped up ball and all by Joseph Paulo. That's tackle 5. Now Nadira has the duties of kicking downfield, and another one out on the full wall. Poor old George Nadira. The Balmain Right Eastwood Tigers are having an afternoon. Their halves are having an afternoon they'd prefer to forget.
Yeah, I'm just not sure what's in his head there. That's a tram line. It's a 20-metre tram line. He's a right-foot kicker. He's facing the sideline. The ball's going to go that way.
Was that a 20-40 attempt, Peter?
Yeah, it turned out like that, I think.
Nathan Armott wrestled to ground by his opposite number, Rokika. Also Reece Curran into the action, wearing jumper number 22. For the Tigers, he's a tradesman-like player. They need a Reece Curran out there at the moment. Matt Hunt, open side they go through Mortimer. Now Humble. This is the halfback Waters. Tries to get around his brother. Lovely ball. Terrific work to Troy Savage. Try time to Wentworthville. Magnificent piece of rugby league. And put that one down to Brendan Waters, who produced a pearler.
Yeah, good work. This is the pass that he dropped before. He tried to get the inside pass off before, just a one-hander, and you can see now just gets it around the corner. Beautiful pass there. Great line running, though, from Troy Savage. You can see why he scored so many tries this season. Runs on an edge absolutely perfectly. Big unit. Great try. Well done to the Wentworthville Magpies. Signs are still, I can understand, I'm starting to get a little bit worried now. Poor old Drury being worried 2 or 3 times. It is starting to get a little bit worrisome for the Balmain side. Paul Fletcher is going to have to pull out all stops at half time.
Who are you two? Brian Doyle. Worried about everything all the time.
Yeah, it's just woe is me.
You got to love the Tigers.
Oh, the classic comedian, he's worried act.
That conversion by Tom Humboldt is
16-0 in favour of the Magpies here. And time on again from the boot of Sean Meaney. Let's go down to Drury.
Yeah, great play there. I want to mention, we've mentioned probably Nathan Waters not having his best day, but what about Brendan Waters? He's been having a great game so far. Probably the biggest difference between the two halfbacks after 35 or so minutes is Brendan's taking the line on, and I don't believe I've seen Nathan run to the line once, and certainly there, Brendan, great run, got the offload away for the try.
I agree with that. Most importantly, what he's doing is working. There's, Nathan's tried a few things, including that grubbing kick when he was attacking the corner, but it went straight out. Humble from Mortimer, pass away. I think it's Danny Howard tackled there in the centre of the field. It was. Humble shoots for touch out of acting half. In fact, a deep kick that is fielded by Sean Meaney, getting back there for the Tigers. And the Balmain Right Eastwood skipper returns the footy before being tackled by Benson Tupou. And Nathan Armott, 16-0 in favour of the visitors. This is crunch time for the Tigers. If you've just joined us, they cannot afford to lose today in the run home to the semi-finals. Chris Corby stretching in preparation for a return to action. This is Vunakis, who'll play it back to Reece Jack. Now into the action in jumper 20, and he kicks straight to the winger. And that's not ideal. Ken Seo returns the football, upended in an aggressive tackle by Nathan Waters, assisted by Jake Clark. This is the winger, Roa Louis. He was tackled in bone-jarring fashion. Now Armit, that's the halfway line you see left of screen. Matt Hunt to Daniel Mortimer, stepping, working in heavy traffic, got it back to a flat-footed Nathan Armit, who in turn found Waters. He lobs that pass over the top to Troy Savage, who managed to get his right arm free and pop the ball to Ken Seo. So Wentworthville, they're making it look pretty easy. Some hot potato stuff at the moment. Brennan Waters, bodies in motion. That's what they're doing so well today, Wentworthville. Daniel Mortimer, busy. He got it away, and now it comes back to Brendan Waters. They're running riot here, Wentworthville. The Tigers, their line speed is poor. Mortimer, beautiful ball to Ryan. They must score, surely. It comes out here to Dylan Gilbert. He already got a try. This time he finds Rawalui, who gets another one.
Yeah, some great ball movement there from the Wenty side, and 4 minutes to go to half-time, and geez, I tell you what, there's some worrying signs there for the Balmain defence. Once again, Mortimer involved in it, selective pass across the face there. Matty Ryan, great ball as he was falling, and straight through to the number 4, Dylan Gilbert. Back inside, Rawalui, tremendous. It was a good try there for the Wenty side, but once again, Ed's defence wasn't the greatest.
I've got no doubt Gilbert could have scored himself if he just pinned his ears back and had a crack. Doesn't matter, it's superfluous because they got to try anyway. What about that kick? Hooking back from the sideline, Tom Humble.
What about the breeze that took that?
75% success today. 3 from 4. Yeah, that was an amazing hook kick a la Jonathan Thurston.
You know, I know we talk about the value of the breeze, but I mean, you've got to hang on to the football whether you've got the wind behind you or not, and Balmain certainly aren't doing that. They'll need to pick that up in the second half whether they've got the breeze or not.
As Matt Ryan goes for a run, let's go down to the sideline, Drury.
Oh, tremendous kick from the sideline from Tom Humble. There wasn't much the Lollylegs chant could do about that. But Peter, you mentioned Daniel Mortimer. He is decided. Back to you, Tappy. Heratuku's away.
Okay, Heratuku for the corner. Stumbled and fell. He was knocked off balance by Daniel Mortimer. So a chance for the Tigers. It's been a long time since they visited the Wentworthville 10-metre line. Oh no, they've made a mistake, and now we see Wentworthville turning defence into attack. There's support coming everywhere. Paulo streaking downfield. Now we see it with Brendan Waters, and he is eventually wrapped up. And there's a loose ball there too. My goodness. I thought for once we were going to see the Tigers get a 4-pointer. Didn't work out to be anything like that. Drury, as we look at this replay, finish what you were saying.
Yeah, I was just going to give Daniel Mortimer a rap. He's decided to stick with the Eels, see out his contract, and you can see that he's just got the right mentality. He certainly wants to do well for this Wentworthville side. He's been very jovial warming up today, and you can see in his play today, Daniel Mortimer, he's made the decision to stick it out and do his best for the side, and geez, on fire today.
Having a great game, all right. Back into that replay that saw the Magpies storm about 60 metres downfield when they were on the rack themselves defensively. Now we see Nathan Waters, a short ball to Jake Clark. It's almost half-time. Heratuku to Nathan Waters. Nathan takes them on, tackled by Matt Hunt and Joseph Paulo. The latter has had a strong game too, Joseph Paulo.
Yeah, since coming over from Windsor, the former Penrith junior, he had a bit of first-grade experience too, and obviously Stephen Kearney's building up his ball-playing back rowers for next season.
There's a half-time siren. All Wentworthville, and I think that scoreline accurately reflects the way the first half was played. It was 10-0 for a long time, and that was flattering the Tigers. For Wentworthville, their try scorers Humble, Gilbert, Savage, and Rawalui. Humble 3 from 4. Donut. Balmain right eastward, and they have it all to do in the second half, but they will play with the benefit of a gusting southerly breeze at their backs in the second half. We're coming back to Leichhardt in just a moment.